Going to be bam. Yes, live and direct back on Winter Sight. I'm Dr. Johnson Period. Got MFC. How you doing, MFC?
Hey, good afternoon.
Yes,
Happy
yes.
Friday.
Yes, happy day, happy day, happy day. We're talking about some crazy things as always. We got the BT Savage case, a little update on that. You know, if you haven't been under a rock, that's that rapper that was unalive. What was that in
Yes.
Texas, right? MFC?
Yes, San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna talk about some of the New York City crimes, especially in the smoke shop, that smoke shop murder. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's hit into that BT Savage
Okay.
situation.
Well,
What's the thing?
back on September 4th, February 4th, BTP Savage, who his birth name is Daryl Gentry, he's 26. He had Omar Richardson, who's 34, and I think it was his nephew, because they're still claiming back and forth different people are saying different things. Anyway, they went to his home and it was supposed to be a taping, and it turned into a robbery. And it ended up that there was a struggle, and the girlfriend, BT Savage's girlfriend, ended up shooting Omar Richardson, and at the same time she accidentally shot BTV, her boyfriend, BTV Savage, in the arm. Okay, so, and his 4-year-old son was in the other room. So this
Mm,
guy still was struggling. So it got really crazy because even though uh, he got shot, it didn't stop him. It made this guy Richardson more aggravated. And so, but anyway, so a big struggle happened, and they basically got the child out, and he had a friend come to drive him to the hospital, and and so by the time the cops got back to the house, Richardson was pronounced dead. Anyway, so going with that, um, a few weeks later, on March 30th, no, not March 30th, Monday, March 27th, okay, there was an interview, and with that he did
DJ
with
Vlad.
DJ Vlad TV,
Yeah.
okay, and basically, he detailed everything, and so that came out, because only certain channels were really covering that. This didn't get over into New York or anywhere else, on the news thing. But anyway, to make a long story short, so he did that. So the threats were going back and forth from what they report from Richardson's family. They was going to hurt him, his kid, his mom's, everybody, and so anyway, and mixed with him. So then that Thursday, he goes and he posts two pictures of the crime scene with the blood, everything else, and so within 2 to 3 hours afterwards, he was killed. And this
Mm,
all happened that Thursday, March 30th. And bottom line is, he was out with his three. He was with three people, so they believe it was three producers. And he noticed at the table that someone was texting, and they were telling the person the color of his shirt and stuff like that. So he got leery. So he went to the bathroom, called his mom's, and was texting her, and she's basically telling him to get out of there and make an excuse that he has to go pick someone up from the airport. And she's telling him to get to the airport and get out of there. And so these people were already outside the restaurant. They were notified where he was. So basically, he was set up by his own people. And so once he leaves by street cameras, it shows that this black Subaru, Outback, followed, and then not that far later, they pulled up. Two guys got out, all dressed in black, and they shot into the car. 72 shots were fired,
wow.
and at the same time, the cameras and everything came back showing that his producer, this guy D, okay, BTB Savage's producer D, was at the crime scene videotaping it. They have him
Mm-mm.
on tape. Okay, so that's another thing also. So anyway, these guys got back in their car and left. The reason they was able to track down the car was because they went by the license plate. It happened to be a rental from Avis. So, and it had his home address. So they went to his home address and got it. But
Yeah.
just to let you know, or let the public know just how crazy things got, the day after the shooting on that Friday, March 31st, he was pulled over in that same SUV, that same black Subaru, with a girlfriend who she was driving the vehicle at the time for like a stop, just like a vehicle stop. And they checked, and he got arrested. Him and the girlfriend got arrested for having narcotics. Okay, and they found one shell casing in the back of the car. Anyway, so make a long story short, they let him go. He's released the same day. Okay, not connecting him to the shooting the day before. So
Mm.
then when they have more research and they see the cameras and everybody's involved, they then put out the warrant for his for his arrest. And then he just turned himself in this past Tuesday, and so he's charged with the murder, and he's also, his bond is $1 million. So
Mm.
they said that if his people are able to make that bond, then basically he's going to have to wear a GPS monitor, and he has to stay in the state of Texas. He can't leave until the case is complete. So that's really crazy. But on top of that, so I mean, you have that stuff. So apparently, his producers and stuff, and they have this also. The mother has explained. Her name is Renita Ward. Okay. Um, she explained that they have on camera, because he was staying at their Airbnb, and they have it that the producer who had a set of keys to get in, went back after, well, after he was murdered, went to his house and robbed it. Took his
From
clothing,
IP,
his
right?
sneakers, his jewelry, his money, everything. So, and it's all on camera. Okay, so she put out the word, asking the producer to, she don't care about anything but the chains, because she wants to be able to give that to his son when he gets older. Um, so apparently, through the last few days, he has turned up the chains and a pair of some sneakers or something, but that's it. So anything about the money, which they claim was $200,000, there's no talk about that, and the clothing.
Yeah,
So,
but I
and the
heard that
sad thing is,
that was capped. I heard that a lot of bloggers got that wrong. Whether it is or not,
yeah,
regardless of what deed, he was definitely wrong for doing that to his friend. But as they say, you gotta
yeah,
your enemies
yeah,
close. Keep them
yeah,
closer.
yeah, and that's
But
what hurts the moms the most, because she's these people were like invited in her home. They were like all friends, and like you said, they were trusted. And I guess, you always say, in the music world, you got to be really, really careful how you move, who you associate with, who you have around in your surroundings. You know.
yeah, but I want to play something real quick. Hold on, I want to get something with his mom's. She was
Yeah,
basically yeah. So I was trying to get this on. Something's going down here. I don't understand what is wrong with it. Yeah.
it's Friday.
Yes, it's a Friday. Yeah, I just had it, as you see. It was just up.
Yep.
Mm-mm, not happening. But no, yeah, that was really messed up. And I saw on
Yeah.
a couple of plays that they were saying how it didn't happen like that. Like the mother was trying to explain that he was supposed to bring the stuff to Guy D, but he never brung it. And
Yeah.
the messed up part is, yeah,
Yeah. Two people. They're not around. Two mothers have lost their sons.
Try to cover up, whatever their children's lifestyle is. I said, take that off of social media. I said, let this family mourn in peace. But they were continuing, was taunting my son. Telling he was going to, telling him that they were going to kill the family, that they were going to make his mother cry, like my son made his mother cry. And I told my son, don't respond. but their family member came to rob my son. So the moral of this story to me is that two mothers lost two amazing sons, and that
Yeah.
their children will be raised without fathers.
So sad.
Yep.
And that's a
It's
sad
sad.
thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true. It's true. You
Mhm.
know, so many people's actions affect so many people. You know, and
Yeah.
this is happening more and more. It's almost like every few weeks we hear of a rapper or something being taken out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's the sad part. Definitely the sad
You
part
know.
about it all. Yeah. Yeah, but that just goes to show people, man, you definitely got to be on point, man, because your friends will definitely. And the word that I got, from my people, shout out to Dallas, is he got in over his head, meaning, he was doing scams allegedly, and he got mixed with the wrong people. And you got to remember, a lot of people, man, they feel if they don't grow up with you, you're not, from the sandbox, as they say, or whatever. And not to mention, a lot of people are putting this on Vlad because DJ Vlad, he has you on his shows, he gives you the liquor and all that, narcotics allegedly, and gets people open. And he has a track record for this. So this is not like this just started. And, it's just sad people keep going on there. I just, yeah, if I was on there, I would just talk about my art and that's it. We ain't going to no street stuff because, he's on the top of the list, with bloggers that are known for, feeding you the evilness and then basically hiding their hand later, saying, oh, I didn't know this. There's rappers that are locked up doing 30, 40 years, MFC, that have been on his show that they've used his foot. In fact, I want to say the Taxstone case, they was talking about using footage from that case out of New York, because he was on DJ Vlad, basically saying what he would do if somebody came up to him. If this was a blogger named Taxstone, and he did just so. He had beef with Troy Ave. Troy Ave came up to him. A couple of shots was off. Troy Ave's bodyguard got murdered. Another female got shot, I want to say, in the kneecap. And they'll use that stuff against you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're dealing with these urban artists, it's that fine line. That's why I can't see it, but I get it, because nowadays everybody wants they want the props, they want the likes, they want the juice, as they say, and they're getting it the wrong way. Because look at this guy. Common sense would have been, even before this happened, something happened in that magnitude, get up out of Dodge. At least. It's just like with the Biggie Small situation. You know what I mean? Even though
Yeah.
Biggie Small could have pulled the trigger and all that, but that sentiment was still there with Tupac. So here it is. You out in LA, people look at it like you're goading. You're goading on, the past murder. Even though you
Yeah.
wasn't involved with it, but you was involved. So people got to learn, is putting your pride to the side. How did he put his pride to the side? Just went and chill with his moms, or because if I'm
Yeah.
sure she was in a different state, right, MFC?
Yes. She was in a
Okay.
different. If I'm not mistaken, I think she was in Vegas.
Yeah, and now you got, like I said, they both lost, and here it is. You got this guy, Montrell Leonard. Okay, he's the guy to the right, the one that's
Yep.
supposedly the trigger man, and this
Yep.
is yeah,
And that's the other thing too. It came out that they're not related at all. But you know how you say that's my brother or that's my cousin.
yeah.
Yeah.
They go Montreal with Omar. Now Omar's the guy that he's supposed to be, so they were, this is a friend probably looking out for his friend. Something happened, and you got a guy goading, he's gloating off of, murdering him, even though he's
Yeah.
saying that they came to rob him, but you taking pictures, and this is what people, I'm hoping people watching and learning. It's nothing good about that. Aura wise, whether you spiritually wise, it's
Yeah.
you beat somebody up, you don't need to nitpick on it. Keep it moving. You did what you did.
Exactly.
And in fact, people gotta pray for retribution from that, because you gotta remember, sin is sin. So regardless of how it comes, people gotta get off that, because it's in our eyes, like it's right there in
Yeah.
front of us. Hey, what's going on? with New York, man. New York is getting crazy.
Well,
MFC.
yeah, it's getting wild out here. It's almost like and the thing is that New York City, well, New York State itself is not a gun carrying state. To be honest with you, for everything to be happening in New York with guns and stuff, the guns
Yeah,
are all illegal. So
and I don't agree with
basically,
that. Go ahead.
yeah, so basically with the smoke shops have been, opening up and everything else since everything's legalized now and stuff. And so this happened, as a matter of fact, last Sunday, Easter. It happened Easter Sunday, April 9th, and it
Oh,
was
that
about
was
8 p.m. And as you see in the picture, the top left picture, that's a smoke shop that it was originally part of selling the weed and stuff was closed, but they wanted to make some extra money. So they had what they call a walk-up window, and what they were
wait
doing was
up. Hold on,
selling.
hold on. Let's slow it down. Slow it down. This is not just a regular smoke shop. This is smoke with cannabis in it.
Yeah, this is a cannabis
Okay.
shop.
These are basically
Yep.
what they call dispensaries in other states, basically. So these
Right.
are wow. So they're open late like that. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
See,
So it just
I was
happened.
under the impression, okay, because out west in Cali, Vegas, they call them clubs, if anything, but they call them dispensaries if you
Right.
have cannabis. So in
Right.
New York area, they're calling it smoke shops. Okay.
Yes. Yep. So they was already closed for the weed part, but that to make some extra money, they were just selling
Cannabis,
rolled up
cannabis.
cigarettes, cannabis.
Cannabis. Yes, you
Yep,
have to
cannabis.
get the verbiage right, please. Yes. So
Cannabis. So they were selling rolled up cigarettes. So
mm,
that's why, like it with the so basically, you see everybody just standing around in there. That's the other thing too. It's not a large place, and the people are inside standing around. So anyway, so the guy in the you see the yellow jacket, he goes up to, I guess, buy Lucy or whatever. That's what they call him in New York. And anyway, so the guy that you see in the blue with the blue cap, that's the shooter. Okay. And basically, he has words with the guy in the yellow. And
yeah.
so, they talk back and forth. There's no sound, so you don't know what they said. But anyway, so all he's doing is going to get a cigarette. So he gets a cigarette. He asks the guy from behind the counter, for a light. He lights a cigarette. He turns to leave, and this guy pulls out a gun and shoots him in the back of his head. And so now the guy falls down to the ground. Okay. And his name is Brandon Bunson. Okay. He's only 36 years old. All right. So Brunson is on the ground. And so by him, he's still moving, um, trying to get up. The shooter goes back. Okay. And he puts another bullet in his back.
Mm.
Okay. And then he goes to walk away. And then he thinks about it for a second and goes back. And then he rifles through his pockets. And then he goes and
Straight
leaves.
out.
And
All
and
right,
this is
let me play this. Give some more um, credence to everything. Let me get this. Yeah, because this will help people out. Man, it's going crazy in New York.
Hang on, the suspect arrested
yeah.
in a shooting inside a Harlem smoke shop. The alleged gunman has been arraigned on 2 counts of murder. 21-year-old Messiah Nantwi appeared in court this morning. Police say he's the man seen in surveillance video inside a smoke shop Sunday on Malcolm X Boulevard, pulling out a gun, shooting a man in the head, and killing him. Nantwi is also accused of shooting and killing a 19-year-old the day before.
Yep.
Wow. So the day
Yep.
before,
Yeah. So this basically happened on
hold on,
100 between
look at
125th.
it's on you.
A
Yeah.
36-year-old
See.
friend inside of a Harlem smoke shop. The shooting was caught on surveillance video, too graphic to show in its entirety. So we are stopping it right
Just
there.
like that.
The day before this shooting, a few blocks away, Nancy shot
Yep.
and killed a 6-year-old the same way. Overnight Tuesday, officers working both cases spotted the 21-year-old and found a gun nearby. That's how they did it.
Wow.
Yep.
So they doing it like that, man. So this guy, he must have more murders than that.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
story gets deeper. Okay.
Go ahead.
Now the guy Messiah Nantwi. Okay, he's 21 years old now. Okay, back in April of no, I'm sorry, back in um back in
A bit ago, a bit ago.
2021
Okay.
when he was only 18. Okay, he
Yeah.
went and he was doing graffiti, and so the cops came upon him, and he shot 3 times, and he didn't hit any of the cops, and they returned with 30 something 31 shots. So he was
Wow.
hit multiple times, but he survived. Okay, so
Luck of the
with
devil.
that, because of his young age, being 18, and he had no priors, um, his original bail was 500,000. They reduced it to 300,000, and his family was able to get him bailed out at 30,000. Okay, and from reports, it wasn't clear exactly when he was released, but like I said, this was almost 3 years ago, and the case is still open. It's not even finished, you know. And so the thing is, you have advocates that are claiming, well, if he had been stayed locked up, at Rikers Island, then he wouldn't have been able to do these other two killings. Okay, but the reality is that, if you, with cases and stuff, look how long some people have been there for 4 or 5 years waiting for their cases. So it's a sad thing
Yeah,
all
at
around.
least, at
This,
least home
especially if you're
arrest.
only
He
21.
wasn't on house arrest.
Huh?
House arrest. Put him on house arrest. Give him a monitor. That way it
Yeah.
ain't killing taxpayers like that, but at least, have a monitor on him. This guy's out there doing serial killer work. If he did two
Right.
murders in that fashion, MFC, you really think he's not involved in any other nefarious, acts?
Yeah.
That's like, that's like girl cheating on me. I catch her. You really think that's the first time she cheated on me? 9 times out of
Right.
10, it like we gotta, and I get it because I'm all with, not paying for other people's problems, in that magnitude. But when you got, serial killers, you're able to, it couldn't have been that
Yeah.
serious. I seen the footage a couple of times. The guy in the smoke shop,
Yeah.
the slash dispensary, But yeah, that's a 5K ready to blow up. Though I can't believe they're doing that in New York because
Yeah.
remember, I had a club out here in Phoenix when they first passed the cannabis laws, which is basically a dispensary, except we didn't have to pay the taxes. So what they do is, the first year, 2.5 years, they let you have your clubs, and then they start, arresting you, coming in,
And having
taking the money,
regulations put on it.
cannabis, and you have to fight back for it, which you're really not going to get. But that's what they were doing. That's what they did in LA. They did that in Vegas, Phoenix. So in New York, it's somewhat the same thing. Because I think the next step they're going to do, which they did down this way, they'll make it where it's taxed. So once that stuff is taxed, you can't just open up a smoke shop and have cannabis in it. They have that stuff. They even put their own cameras in there, the state.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
I don't see it getting any better. And the reason why, you got to remember, these places are gonna congregate this type of behavior. You know,
And there's robberies. That's something else that's happening in a lot of smoke
oh, big
shops.
big time, big time.
There's big
You gotta be
robberies.
very
I
careful
mean,
with those places. You gotta remember, they
yeah.
deal with a lot of those places deal with cash. They might have an
Yes.
ATM machine inside there, but they deal with cash. Yeah, they ain't no
They're
credit
dealing with cash.
taking the federal, but it's the same thing out west. You know, man. Well, be safe on your Friday, everybody. We tapping in.
Yep.
We'll be back on the move. MFC, she got bailed out. Glad to see you back, MFC. That's,
Yeah.
that's,
At least I don't have the ice cream truck ringing right yet,
yeah,
or
you
the
guys are right. Yeah,
or
what's
the
up with
cop cars
that?
going by.
It's getting quiet. Let me find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's Friday. Everybody's just chilling. It's really
Yes.
hot out here.
Enjoy
You
your
know,
day. Everybody have fun. We'll be
the
back. Make
winning
sure you like.
cipher. We send blessings to everyone. You be safe, everyone.
Yeah. We send blessings. Yeah. Hold on. We got to do a funky prayer in the building for somebody. Shout out to SB in the building. Yes, but MFC, you gonna leave us out with a little prayer for the peoples because they damn
Sure.
sure need it.
Sure. Dear God, please cover everyone. in their travels when they leave their home and wherever they go, and to get back home safely, their loved ones. And everyone, please have a peaceful and safe day. And, look at things positive. We have so much stuff going on in the world, and we just got to look at what God has blessed us with and just take it positive and keep